Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We're here going to be doing another garage review, and this time it's going to be of the Hand of Stalin tank, very much so, which is of course the KV-2. And of course everyone knows, loves and fears the KV-2 for its gigantic derp gun and its Hand of Stalin properties. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look here. So it's got 33% protection, 41% firepower, 22% shot effectiveness, and 22% maneuverability. So 860 HP is a very low amount for a tier 6 heavy tank. In fact, to tell you exactly how low it is for a tier 6 heavy tank, the Jackson is a tier 6 tank destroyer, and it's only got 10 HP less than the KV-2. And so yeah, it's got a very low amount of HP. It's also not got that great armour, to be honest, for tier 6. Only 75 frontal hull and side hull, 70 rear, and it's the same for the turret, so 75, 75, 70 for both hull and turret. And you can side scrape in the tank, and it works, but generally it's not that much armour that people will be struggling to get through, unlike tier 5 on the KV-1. So yeah, the armour on the KV-1 is decent for tier 5. Same hull at tier 6, not so much. And the turret, of course, is pretty slabby. I mean, at the front you got this whole area, which is just a pure 75 frontal slab, which people will have no problems getting through. Of course, the mantlet is going to cause a little bit of problems, as is the sides here, because they're very well sloped, but really, you need to really be angling this thing to make the armour effective, because frontal on it's not going to really stop anything. So yeah, the armour is a bit hit and miss, but generally it's not that great really for a tier 6 tank. It also weighs 53 tons with only a 600 horsepower engine, which means it goes at 35 kilometers per hour, but it only has a 21.75 degrees per second hull traverse and a 16.69 turret traverse. And so yeah, it's really not manoeuvrable, it's slow, it's sluggish, it's a bit trying to drive around the battlefield, because it is a fairly immobile tank. It's got a very slow turret traverse, which means that if someone gets around you, they'll generally be able to keep around you, because you won't be able to turn your hull and your turret quick enough to actually keep up with them. So yeah, manoeuvrability is a bit on the slow side. As for the engine, 15% chance of an impact, so yeah. The turret, 253 meters view range, has a low limit of 60.8 tons, so yeah, got a bit of tonnage to play around with there. Lots of tonnage actually. But in general it's a fairly slow, unmanoeuvrable heavy tank, which doesn't really have that great armour. However, it's got guns to make up for it. So the stock gun is a 122 U11 howitzer, which has got a 6.12 rate of fire. It only has 30 HE pen, 140 with heat, only does 450 damage with HE, or 230 with heat. Got 0.45 dispersion and a 6.5 second aim time. It's really not a good gun. Really, it's pretty terrible. And then you've got a choice of two guns. Now, of course, we all know the gun which most people run with, but for now we'll look at the other gun. And this is the alternative gun, which some people, I'm sure, which I'm sure some people will run with. And it is the 107 ZIS 6 gun. And it's not a bad gun. It's a nice gun. It has a 6.94 rate of fire rounds per minute. It has got 167 average pen with AP, 219 with APCR, or 54 with HE. So it's got decent pen for tier 6. That's very nice pen. It's got very good average damage, 320 with AP, 270 with APCR, and 400 with HE. The dispersion, however, fairly inaccurate, 0.43 dispersion, which is not great, and it's also got a very, very long aim time of 7.6 seconds. So it's got very good damage, it's got decent pen, it's also got a alright rate of fire, however it's inaccurate and has a long aim time. But it is a viable option. It is an all-round good gun. But then you've got the 152 howitzer, which is what the KV-2 ran in real life, and it's what everyone else runs. And that is the 152 M10 howitzer. Has a 2.8 rate of fire. 2.80 rate of fire rounds per minute. It's got 110 average pen with AP, 136 with premium AP, and 86 with HE. It does 640 average damage with AP, 545 with the premium AP, but here's where everyone runs it with. HE 960 average damage, and that is what everyone runs it with. I've loaded it up purely with HE, because you may as well just fire HE at everything, have a chance of one-shotting them, if not do 300 damage and knock out several modules. So, why not? What's the problem with that? So, yeah, the HE pen, not great, but then again, the AP, you're more likely to bounce. So, just load up pure HE, really, is the philosophy of any KV-2 driver. Just load pure HE, just derp gun everywhere. You can one-shot things and it's fantastic. However, it's got very bad dispersion. 0.575 dispersion, which is terrible dispersion. And it also has an 8.9 second aim time. Oh, it's just the worst. It is just the worst accuracy that you will ever see on a tank. I mean, even if you go with a gun lane driver, it only takes it down to 8.1 seconds. It's really horribly inaccurate. The only way you're going to hit something at long range is if Stalin guides your shot, which Stalin does guide your shot quite a lot. Well, it depends on what mood he's in. If you've sacrificed enough political dissidents to the gulags, he will reach up from hell and guide your shot. And so, yeah, but that's why everyone plays it though, because look at this thing. It's a gigantic gun on a gigantic tank. It can one-shot things like the Churchill gun carrier. I mean, how much armour does the gun carrier have? 88 frontal hull. If you run the KV-2 with calibrated shells, you get 90 HE pen. That HE will just penetrate right through your gun carrier, knock you out in one shot. And it's just fantastic. So yeah, you carry 36 rounds in this thing, which is more than you'll ever need. And so yeah, just load up pure HE really is the best advice anyone will give you to run the KV-2. As for provisions, you've got standard and improved fuel for 3 and 10% respectively to engine power and direct traverse. Then you've got condensed milk or extra combat rations for 3 and 10% respectively to crew mastery. And then you got the protective kit, 15% to protection and crew from injuries, 10% speed or module repair, 20% fire protection and 10% ammo and fuel tank durability. So you can go ahead and mount some of them if you want. As for consumables, you've got your standard repair first aid fire extinguisher, engine power boost, 20% to engine power for 15 seconds, and then you've got adrenaline for the 20% to load speed and 10% chance of damaging enemy vehicle modules for 15 seconds. And then you've got the multi-purpose restoration pack, which is the top 3 rolled into one. So, yeah, go ahead and mount them however you want. As for equipment, I would say definitely gun rammer, because you can bolster it up to 90 average pen with HE, but I would suggest just gun rammer. Get that reload time down. It goes up by 0.19, which is still 20-second reload time or something like that. Then I would say protected modules for the extra protection of engine, transmission and ammo, and the extra suspension and fuel tank durability. Then I would say coated optics, because Camonet is not really going to be that useful. You're a KV-2, you're a heavy tank. You're going to be at the front lines anyway because of your horribly inaccurate howitzer, so definitely go with the coated optics. And then, well, yeah, enhanced gun lane drive, try and get that aim time down. So, yeah, I'd do that. Then improved assembly for better HP, getting up to 905 HP, because really, enhanced armor won't really help you on your armor. It's only 75 at the strongest, so yeah, it's not really going to help. So I would say definitely improved assembly. Then I would say improved control for the better traverse speed. You could go with engine accelerator, but really I think the traverse speed is going to be far more useful. Then definitely refined gun, get it down to 0.54 accuracy. It's still horribly inaccurate, but it's slightly better. At that point it's just futile, really, but you may as well. And then I suppose enhanced tracks would be beneficial, but then it's really a toss-up between those two, and then a choice of whatever the hell those two things are. So overall, that is Stalin's hammer, the good old KV-2 with the big Dirtball 152 howitzer. And it's a really fun tank to drive, especially when you get those crazy games where everything fits into place. You one-shot 3 different tanks and get a mastery class and a top gun and high caliber and whatever the hell else you get. And it's just a really the biggest RNG tank ever. But that's why people love it. So yeah, the KV-2, I'll thank you for watching and goodbye.